Every building needs to somehow transfer its weight into the ground. A foundation is a mechanism used to transfer the weight or load of a building to the ground in a way which does not compromise the structural integrity of said building. There are many types of foundations. Most can be classified into two main categories. These categories are deep foundations and shallow foundations. Deep foundations are usually used to bypass weak soil layers or to transfer heavy loads into the ground. Deep foundations use side friction and tip resistance to transfer loads. For most light structures, shallow foundations are used, transferring loads through the bearing capacity of the soil. The bearing capacity of soil depends on many factors. The main factors are soil type, which can be clay, silt, sand, gravel, or most likely a mix of these; density, which simply put is the spacing between soil particles; water table level, which is the depth of the water below the surface; and water content, which is the amount of water compared to the amount of soil. Settlement of a soil due to a foundation load can be visualized in this simple setup of three types of soils. At the very bottom, we have a sand layer overlain by a clay layer. The top layer is a silty sand. The layers are divided into sublayers, which will allow for better visualization of changes as soil settles. It can be easily seen that there is more settlement at the top layers than the bottom ones. There are two main reasons that can cause this situation to occur, which are the response of each soil based on its own particular properties, and that the major impact of force is dissipated by the first layer. Note the boundary where clay and sand meet. Both layers experience the same amount of force, but the clay is more distorted. This is because the clay is more compressible than the sand above it. The distribution of load due to a loaded area is explained by many researchers, including Joseph Busenesque. His suggestion was that load is distributed radially into the ground, where the deeper you go, the lesser the load will be felt by the soil. This explains why our soil settled the way it did. When designing a foundation, it is important to take into consideration the reaction the soil will have to the type of foundation that will be used. If too much settlement will occur, one of two things can be done. The soil can be improved, or the type of foundation can be changed to a more suitable one. The strength and stability of a foundation is directly tied to its interaction with the soil around it. Good engineers recognize this fact and are able to design an appropriate foundation for every site.